Hello, my dear colleagues. Recently, I have been asked many questions regarding the TESOL course on Coursera, especially regarding the second Capstone project, which includes lots of paperwork. In today's short video, I'm going to reflect on my own experience and give you some tips and share my experience of how I have finished Capstone 2 project. I hope that my experience will be helpful for you. You can build your experience based on that. So let's start. Arizona State University TESOL course consists of 8 courses, starting from foundational principles and ending with Capstone 2 project. Capstone 2 project, last course of this TESOL specialization, is the most important one as it will be reviewed by experts panel at Arizona State University. Preparing your teaching portfolio is very important because this is the final document you will be submitting for the review. Practical and theoretical help on how to prepare your teaching portfolio is provided in the first Capstone course, which is the first course of this specialization. So let's start with this. In lesson 1, week 1, you have been given theoretical help on how to prepare your teaching philosophy. There are many ways a teacher can write a teaching philosophy. You can choose different format, different style, but today we will mostly focus on what they require at TESOL course at Arizona. So your teaching philosophy should include 3 main parts, and these are your teaching purpose, that's basically why you teach, your teaching style, that's how you teach, and your teaching techniques, that's what kind of strategies you use in your classroom. In writing your teaching philosophy, it's better to rely on your lessons on TESOL course and try to use as much strategies that they have provided in this course. Well, your teaching philosophy should be around 1 page long, and when you write your teaching philosophy, you have to pay attention that that's your work, so you will be writing it in first person narrative. So you will be writing it with I. So here you can see my teaching portfolio. Final portfolio that you submit for the expert review consists of 12 items. These are technology enriched reading writing lesson plan with video, edited listening speaking lesson plan with video, technology enriched listening speaking lesson plan with video, grammar lesson plan, of course micro lesson video is provided, pronunciation lesson plan with video, Capstone 1 lesson plans that you prepared in Capstone 1 course, original reading writing grammar lesson, again with micro teaching video, original listening speaking pronunciation lesson plan with video, and technology enriched lesson plan with video. Also, you are required to send 2 toolbox tips. Those are toolbox number 1 and toolbox number 2. 1 week plan is optional one, but I recommend you to include this in your final teaching portfolio. The very first item in your teaching portfolio should be your teaching philosophy. As a sample, I will show you my own teaching philosophy. So, this is my teaching philosophy. As you guys can see, it consists of 1.5 pages, a little bit even longer. So, I wrote around 250 words. I will read my teaching portfolio for you. So this is the first paragraph. This is the opening paragraph of my teaching portfolio. I really recommend you to make your opening paragraph strong, to use some hooks, some interesting expressions or quotations so that the reader will follow up on this and enjoy your writing. So, following in the footsteps of my grandfathers, I become a teacher. My grandfather, although arduous times of the Second World War deprived him of receiving university education, brought up 13 children, all of whom gained university degrees in various fields, and most interestingly, 6 of whom chose teaching as their professions. Growing up in the family where teachers were revered up high, Passion for teaching was sparked in my soul, and this inspiration led me to the World Languages University in Tashkent, Uzbekistan, where I studied at ILTE, Institute for English Language Teacher Education Program. So this is the opening paragraph of my teaching portfolio. Following this, I provided some more background information on why I teach. So this paragraph clearly explains some of the reasons why I'm teaching. Researching deeply in education during my studies in ILTE, I became aware that teaching in Uzbekistan falls behind this of many countries, and majority of Uzbek teachers remain out of pace with modern, skill-based, and communicative language teaching. To my mind, the issues facing teaching in Uzbekistan today, such as old and ineffectual methodologies, relatively backward educational concepts, subjective assessment methods, and others can be worked out via training a new generation of teachers. And in order to be one of the teachers for change, I have first started improving my own teaching. For example, by changing monotonous, conventional, and grammar translation-based English teaching strategies to more authentic language atmosphere. I realized that students' passivity is being replaced by active creative work as they are enjoying learning the language through original English movies, songs, role plays, classroom debates, and other efficient forms of teaching. This experience has encouraged me to choose language teaching as my primary field and to set up long-range career plans in ESL, EFL teaching. My background information is a little bit long. You have to shorten your background information part and give some more reasons on why teaching, why you have chosen teaching as your primary focus. So this paragraph probably is the last paragraph of background information, and it clearly explains why I'm teaching. Learning the English language is extremely important in the community where I'm teaching now, as it provides my learners with opportunities to a better life through better education and a better job. That is why, as a teacher, I'm responsible for meeting the needs of each and every student in the classroom and for creating a friendly classroom environment that fosters learning. Currently, I'm teaching English at a private school, and my short-term goals are to help my learners acquire necessary skills to study technical subjects such as engineering, robotics, and coding through the English language. In the long run, it's my sincere hope that my students will become open-minded, creative, and successful individuals with advanced English language skills. So this is the end of the first part. This is the end of why I teach part. Here I have clearly answered to the questions why I teach, and I explained it with reasons. Also, in this part, I have used some of the terminology that the course taught us, like grammar translation-based English, communicative English, and etc. In the second part, I have mostly talked about my teaching style. So I will read the sample paragraph. My teaching style mostly derives from the communicative approach. However, I also integrate aspects of other methods and approaches to match the styles of my learners best. So in this paragraph, I have related to the subjects taught at the course, like communicative approach, comprehension reading-based approach, and etc. I really recommend you to use some of the key terms from the course, as it will show that you have applied the knowledge you learned from the course. Well, after that, I have given some examples of the techniques I use in the classroom. For example, 80-20 rule. This is a really important one, as the course practice part is mostly based on this. I really recommend you to include in your teaching philosophy. And also you can use some of the strategies offered by the course, like scaffolding and real life examples and etc. to list as your techniques and to explain them how you use them in a classroom. Well, lesson organization is also an important one. Here is my ending paragraph. Regarding the lesson organization, I usually enter the classroom equipped with a fun, interest-gaining activity, instantly transferring learners to the learning mode. Sometimes I challenge my learners' expectations by altering the patterns of my instruction. Most of the times I present, model, and assess. Yet, at other times, I bring up a model, letting learners come up with their own conclusions, guiding them throughout the process. I organize guided and independent practice activities in a meaningful way, matching the exact situations learners may be required to use the language. I mostly address performance-based assessment methods and use alternative ways to conventional tests and quizzes, as I personally believe that tests and exams that check memorization are not accurate ways to measure students' language abilities. As you can see from this paragraph, I have mostly used the concepts that the course taught us, like learning mode, well, present, model, assess, or model, present, assess strategies that the course taught us, and also performance-based assessment, memorization test, and comprehension test. These are also concepts taught by the course. I really recommend you including these key concepts because it will show that you really learned a lot from this course and you used your knowledge from the course. So I don't recommend you to copy information from the internet or to use other person's words because they really check your teaching philosophy and other documents against plagiarism. And when software for checking plagiarism is used, any sentences that contain more than 30% of plagiarized words will come up in red, and overall they may refuse to check your portfolio. So this is basically what my teaching philosophy consists of. So after that, after 12 items are in place, you will submit it to the expert review. Here I have received my expert review. It took around 14 days, 2 weeks to receive my expert review. So they will give you points. I have earned 50 points out of 50 on this expert review. So expert panel gives some really helpful feedback. For example, here, they have told me that they really enjoyed reading my teaching purpose. They especially liked the part about my personal experience, my personal relation to my grandfather, and etc. And also they made a stress on the communicative approach. I really recommend you to build your style around this approach, as the main purpose of this course is to target communicative approach. Well, 80-20 rule was one of the pluses that they liked. And also, well, promotion of active learning, also one of the parts that they really liked, and that's why they gave me the maximum point. Well, this was basically all about my experience of reading my teaching philosophy. I hope that you find this information helpful. If you have any other questions, please leave your questions in this group, and I will try to answer to these questions in a generalized way with videos. Well, thank you for being with me here.